Hey everybody, Spurgle here, back again, and this time I'm messing with clothing item ports. In this video I'm going to try and cover the setup of tools and stuff I use for porting clothes, bags and other items that the players may wear. And I'm going to try and explain a little about the difference between clothing ports and simple items like we covered in my previous videos. If you've not watched them, go back and watch my beginner basics and my simple item port playlists. They're short and to the point videos. Both playlists together should bring you up to speed with the modding basics and how to import items into Dayz. Now, I'm no expert at porting clothes, but I have messed with a few items in the past. One of note is my Spurgle's bags mod that's currently on the workshop. Other than that, I've done a cloak and a few helmets, nothing too much. Anyway, let's go have a look at how clothing items differ from other simple items, and for this I'm going to be using the sample helmet from the community samples. Links to this and any other samples and tools I use throughout the series will be in descriptions and on Discord. So yeah, I've already downloaded the sample helmet. Let's have a quick look at the model config. So all clothing uses the same skeleton. This is the player skeleton. You can see there's loads of bones in it. But how clothing differs from other models or items is you have three models. So in the CFG models you have three different classes to go with your three different models, male, female and ground. You also, in the model, the config.cpp, you will see it's the same as any other item running off clothing base, but the main model points at the ground. This is what you see in the player's hand and in your inventory and sat on the floor. And right down here you'll have class clothing types where you've got male and female, and it points at the male and female models. So a quick look at them. The ground, it's the same as all the other items. A couple of geometry lods, a memory lod and a res lod. This only being a sample creep, the guy who made this particular sample. It's only included one res lod. It's pretty low poly, but you could have put a couple more in for an actual in-game item. And you'll see in here you've only got helmet and Zibitech. I don't know how to pronounce that word properly, as the selections. Compare that to say the male or female models, and you'll notice you've got head. Now that head selection is the weight in relation to the skeleton. Somewhere in here there'll be a head bone. If I right click and show weights, it is 100% head, so it is weighted to 100%. Pretty simple for a helmet, you know. It's sat on the head, so the only bone that's going to affect it is the head. Whereas, say, in this jacket that I've been messing with, if we open that up, you see there's a lot more bones. And if I say click on spine 3, you see all the different colors. That's how much weight each vertex is being affected by that bone. So select just one vertex, say this one, right click and go weights, and you'll see it's being 57% spine 1, 30% pelvis and 13% spine 2. The 100% camo female, that's our camo for, you know, hidden selections, stuff we covered previously. But, yeah, that's kind of a quick summary of weights. You can do weight painting and transfers in Object Builder. I personally don't like to, But there are copy weights tools, automatic weighting. Never really messed with this. I'm sure it probably works, but I don't use this system. The only part of the weight painting tools that in OB that I use is if you push N, you've got you know, your weight, how strong, strength, size, and you can literally, you know, paint onto the model and then find the selection that you want to adjust, tweak. We want to give it a bit more spine around the back. See, around here, these ones aren't painted, so we could, you know, paint them with a similar shade of blue, and then you would right click and redefine. Now that is permanently painted with a new weight. All these weights and bones relate to the player model. I have the female player model in my edit LOD. Let's get rid of that, we don't need that tool anymore. And you can see, here we go, clunky OB. You can see my jacket in this LOD is in the background of my edit LOD and fits the player model pretty well, and you've got all of the players' weights. Now I got this player model from the Bohemia Interactive Dayz Mist. You've got body parts, which is the male and female P3Ds, and you also have the character proxies that I've used in a previous video, my shoulder slot sample, and the rig and animations. You're going to want all three of these, so get them downloaded, and that's what I'm using in this leather jacket, is the female player P3D. As I say, I don't do my weighting in OB. I only do like final fine tuning. If I notice one vertex needs a little bit more weight, I'll just come up the percentage by clicking on the vertex and, you know, just fine editing in Object Builder. I do most of my work in Blender using the Arma 3 toolbox. Just download it and install it like any other Blender add-on. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to use Blender. There's hundreds of tutorials out there. I used Grant Abbott's videos. I found them quite educational. They helped me learn the interface and how to mess with Blender. So yeah, let's fire Blender up and have a quick look in here at the Arma 3 tools. So here we go. I've already got it installed, but once you've downloaded the zip, dump it somewhere, go to edit, preferences, install, navigate to it, install add-on. It's as simple as that. There it is. Make sure it's checked, and then you should get these over here. And the main, you know, you've got proxy tools, transparency. I haven't really messed with this too much. The main thing I use is you activate the Arma object. Let's give this a bit more space, and you can do the LODs. So you can assign a LOD when you're importing and exporting P3Ds, and yeah, that's the main purpose of this add-on, is so you can import and export P3Ds. I've already imported the player models and the rig together and scaled them, or scaled the rig to fit the player model. I've got it, yeah, PlayerRig.blend. I've got the male and female models here, and the armature, which is all the bones. In the male and female models, you can go to the vertex groups, and this is the weights. Yeah, I'll include this .blend in a download from my Discord. Probably link it in the description as well for easy access. This is what I'll be using in the next episode to try and port that leather jacket I showed off. This leather jacket I had here. This was just me experimenting with it previously. We're going to start from scratch, bring it into Blender, make it fit the player model, do a weight transfer on it, and then run it through OB and get it in game. Then I might try and model it to fit the male model, do the same again, get it in game, and then finally I'll produce a ground model and get that in game somehow. The leather jacket that I'm using came from Sketchfab, from Kendall Rummage. It's her original model. It's free to download, so you guys can go grab the raw files and mess with them yourself if you want. I think that pretty much covers it for this video. Just going to check my notes and make sure I haven't missed anything. So yeah, you've watched my previous videos. You've had a look at the sample. You've downloaded the player parts and my player rig. You've got the Arma 3 toolbox installed on Blender. You've gone and watched some Blender YouTube tutorial videos, learned the interface, how to control, do stuff in Blender, use the tool. And yeah, that's it for now. Next time we'll get cracking on this. Take it easy, peeps. Bye.